nation building post-COVID-19. And I want to start introducing this topic by saying that everything anyone wants to achieve in life first begin with an idea of what the person wants to do, and then effort is put into this idea before an achievement, can be arrived at. So we are going to take this lecture today from that point of view, that everything a man must achieve will first start from having an idea of what he needs to do, then putting in the required effort, then before he can expect, an achievement, a good achievement. See, the success of every country depends on the success of her citizens and how their individual successes translate to the good of the society. Anytime the success of a country is talked about, it's about the success of the people, because it takes a people to build a nation. And these successes does not just stop by how much we're able to succeed individually, but how much these our successes have been able to be translated into the good of the society. So everything in a country ought to be owned and managed for the purpose of adding value. This has to, this tells us that anything, or the reason for our existence in Nigeria, for example, is to add value. Otherwise, no progress will be recorded. Otherwise, there won't be any progress in the country as a whole. But amidst the challenges facing Nigeria, the country, our own country, Nigeria, still remains a promising economy. We all have come to realize that Nigeria economy is a promising economy. But the question has always been, what have we done with these opportunities? We have so much opportunity in Nigeria, but what have we truly done with these opportunities? That is the question. Different advantages and opportunities abound in Nigeria that have not been utilized. Nigeria is one of the countries many people want to take advantage of. Why? Because there is so much. But we that are part of this country, we're already in the second slide, we that are part of this country, we don't seem to understand the advantages it portends for us and how we can utilize these advantages. So because of this lack, this account to why we live in a nation that is well endowed, but without a national success. Nigeria is so endowed, a great country, but we've not made so much success out of it. If you look at it, Nigeria is too far away from our own reality, because everybody is like, and therefore we are so much concentrating on what we could get for ourselves. So not to talk of our community, then talk about our local government, then talk about our state. But if we concentrate on what makes Nigeria great, if Nigeria becomes great today, the states in Nigeria will be great. Then it will reflect in the local government, and then even at our community and family levels. So in Nigeria, we have individuals with assumed personal successes, while the country is lagging behind. Our individual achievement cannot be respected in the global marketplace until it translates to nation building. We must understand this, that no matter what we have achieved as individuals, even when we are well known in the global marketplace, whatever success we have made, until it translates to nation building. Because you get to any country of the world today, the first thing they will ask, where is he from? Your passport shows that you are from Nigeria, and at that time, they treat you the way they see Nigeria, not your individual person. They don't even want to know who you are, but because you're a Nigerian, they look at you from that point of view. So in many countries, entrepreneurship as we have it here has transformed into social entrepreneurship. At the meaning of social entrepreneurship and how its ideas, that's how the principles of social entrepreneurship can influence nation building in Nigeria. I know that we will not be able to do justice to this topic without differentiating between an entrepreneur and a social entrepreneur. And we're going to do that right away. An entrepreneur, as we know it, is a person who takes risk to start a business for the purpose of making profits. He or she is usually propelled by benefits, personal benefits. What comes to me? How much do I make? How do I put in my effort to ensure that something comes to me in form of returns for my business? His interest is deeply rooted in profit making and expansion of his business. An entrepreneur, that is what it is. It's normal. That is the language we've come to understand, that we go into business actually to make profit. That is the truth. Business is to make profit. But why other countries are doing so well beyond what we are doing is that they are engaged beyond entrepreneurship to social entrepreneurship. And that's what we are going to see in the next slide. A social entrepreneur. A social entrepreneur is an individual who establishes an enterprise, who establishes a business with the aim of solving social problems and affecting positive change in a society. So you see the migration from making profit. You are talking about how do I solve a problem? How do I help my society? If that becomes the reality, if that becomes what we all look forward to as entrepreneurs, it will go a long way. And we are going to see how it's going to help us. But first of all, let us look at a social entrepreneur idea. He funds that idea and he bets solutions to address problems in the society. Two, the individual also take risk and use his or her initiative on things that are beneficial to the society. So the concentration is about how does this benefit the society? Whatever I'm doing, how will it impact in the society? For a social entrepreneur, business is done with full interest of the nation at heart. So it's about the nation, it's about the people, it's about what I do, brings solution to the people. How does it address the challenges in the society? So let's see an overview of Nigerian social entrepreneurship standing, where we are as a nation. Nigeria, being the heartbeat of the African economy, has failed to lead. We all say this every day. We all see this every day, that as a people in Nigeria, we are called the giant of Africa. We are known to be a people who have more to give. But unfortunately, we have failed to lead. Africa look up to us, the world look up to us, but we have failed to lead. We should therefore rise up to do more. Beyond what we are doing, we should rise up. It is time for social entrepreneurship evolution in Nigeria. It is time for us to revive this entrepreneurship we've been doing, to take it to the next level, to bring it to a place where it begins to impact in our society. So we cannot continue to do the same thing in the same way and be able to face out our initial challenges. We've had challenges. There are reasons why a lot of entrepreneurship do not. Why is it that business starts today and tomorrow it closes? There are reasons to that. Time is now when we must understand that we cannot continue to do things in the same way. We must rise up to the occasion and be well guided as we face the future, especially after COVID-19. It cannot be business as usual if we hope to make the difference. So for me, the reason why I feel this topic is very important to us today is because it is time for alternative approach. We are to, without sentiment, conform to the following truths. There are things we must know. There are things we must agree with. One, that personal profit is good, but progress of the society is a greater advantage. Progress of the society is more expanded, most reliable way to sustain effective entrepreneurship culture. E.g., let's take, for example, China and Nigeria mentality. Today, we see China, Chinese people all over, everywhere in the world. they go to different countries, and you are asking, what are they doing? Why are they everywhere? One thing that is paramount in their movement is that the interest of their nation is in their hearts. They are not coming to Nigeria because they want to be millionaires, they want to be billionaires. No, they are coming to Nigeria protecting the interests of China. But in the case of Nigeria, we have a lot of Nigerians scattered all over the world. What are we protecting? Why are we moving? We are moving because of personal interests, personal growth, ensuring that, the highest we could do is to ensure that we help our families and then immediate communities. But I never looked at, and that is why people hold Nigerian passport and they can do anything wherever they are, because the interest of Nigeria is not in them. They just live their life. They want to make money. They don't care about what happens. They don't understand that whatever goes wrong in their name is attached to Nigerian name. That whatever they do is like they are representing Nigeria in whatever they do. If we understand all that, it will go a long way to shape our attitude and model us to be better people. Thirdly, the more we embrace social entrepreneurship, the likelihood our success and the general improvement of our society. You know why? Because social entrepreneurship is talking about how do we make the society work? How would Nigeria work? How will the public, the electricity or power supply in Nigeria be better than it is? What do I do to project the name of Nigeria? Social entrepreneurship will trigger progress and nation-building mindset among Nigerian businessmen and women. That's what it will do. If we shift from the normal entrepreneurship we are used to accepting social entrepreneurship, looking at how what we do will bring solution to Nigeria, it will go a long way to reshape our mindset and then be able to help us in whatever we do to ensure that everything is in line with what will bring progress to Nigeria. Social entrepreneur is the way to go now. That is the only way to go, if you ask me. And I believe that after this lecture, we'll see the reason why it is so and why we must continue to not only do that, but encourage others to do likewise. So social entrepreneurship guarantees a win-win. Businesses that focus on the well-being of the people and progress of the society hardly fails. You know why? Because there is a reason, a very strong reason why that business must continue to exist. If the business fails, then it's going to affect the life of the people. Such businesses demand that we pay particular attention to it and also ensure that we do everything within our reach to make sure that people are not deprived of what they need to have. Their success story hinges on the following virtues. That is, social entrepreneurs' success stories. You can find them in these alongside the following things I'm going to be discussing on, which is 1, creativity and innovation. Social entrepreneur puts in immense effort to meet the needs of the people. That is their passion, to meet the needs. So for you to meet the need of a people, you must be creative. You must be innovative because you think beyond yourself. It's not about what you get now. It's about what people are expecting and how do I meet, the expectations of these people to ensure that they are not disappointed, to ensure that they are satisfied. A social entrepreneur ensures that product and services is top notch. Their products and services is are top notch. They ensure that everything they do comes out excellently, and that it must be such that we meet the user satisfaction. That is it. A social entrepreneur must be creative. It must be innovative. Because you are thinking beyond your profit. You are thinking about the people. And for you to satisfy people, you know what it takes to satisfy a people. Then the second one is accurate decision making. Involved in fresh thinking. Fresh thinking. that is targeted at creating new values and patronage. Because if you are not refreshing, if you are not changing to meet with the current standard, then you find out that very soon you will fizzle out. And this is more reason why a lot of people come up with, a business plan today or a business idea, and tomorrow, the business goes into extinction. Because when you try to ensure that whatever you do is at the peak, and people continue to love what you are doing and patronize you, it will also, people, because that people always stick with the best. People always want the best. So you must be at that peak. You must be performing at that level where people can see you at the best for you to be a social entrepreneur. Again, a social entrepreneur is always futuristic. He sees ahead. He knows where the position of things at the moment and understand what needs to come in the nearest future. So he starts preparing for it. He embraces new products, improved his business processes, and then ensure that there's gradual changes that will create wealth and the social welfare. So it's not just about, it's about thinking of the people, looking at what people will need in the next 5 years. Where will Nigeria be? What kind of things will they be needing? Will these my products also continue to maintain, high patronage? Will people still like it? If not, what do I do to observe that it will meet the expectation of the people? Then again, is that we must have proactive mindset. We must have proactive mindset. Know why and when to modify business approach. There must be a reason why we think, okay, this thing we've been doing, just as like we're talking now, we're talking about being proactive ahead of COVID-19. What do we do? What kind of business is going to strive in Nigeria? How do we get ourselves prepared to ensure that we come out well and be able to reposition the Nigerian? Finally, on this slide, we improve on what previously exists. Who would want to start up new businesses? Some of us already have one. So the idea is these new businesses must conform with the current reality. And then if there are existing ones, how do we translate it to conform with the current reality? So a social entrepreneur must be innovatively driven to meet up with end users' expectations. How would social entrepreneurship influence nation building? A critical aspect of nation building requires the deploying of citizens' energy. For us to talk about nation building, it doesn't come just by saying it. It doesn't also come just by thinking it. We are to deploy energy. We are to take responsibility. We have to support the process in order to achieve the prosperity and the social equality that our society is in need of. Now, the role of social entrepreneurship in nation building cannot be overemphasized. They include, one, wealth creation and wealth sharing. Wealth creation in the sense that as you engage in social entrepreneurship, as you begin to look at areas of our societal needs, those areas that have not been covered, those areas that things have not been done well, and you begin to do it, it's automatically creating wealth for you, for yourself. Because if people love what you are doing, if people accept your product and services, it amounts to what? Money. So some people will wonder, how will I be satisfying the society and at the same time be making my money? That is when you even make more money. Because if the interest of the society is the reason why you come up with a good product, and everybody, the society we are in. You know the society we are in. The society we are in is, we have a high population of people in Nigeria. What is surviving us today in our nation is the people because we keep patronizing whatever that you bring out on the streets, people must buy because we have, the commensurate population to always demand of whatever we produce. Then the next one is utilization and conversion of available human and material resources. Today, we talk about a lot of issues. People are there are no jobs, and all of that. Social entrepreneurship will bring about the utilization of these human resources that are wasting away. Imagine when 2 or 3 people come out now and say, okay, look at within their environment, what are the needs of the people? What do we think the people will need? And we begin to look at it, look at the challenges and what we need to start off this business that will provide this need. It will go a long way to making you become a useful person. Then again, it provides, social entrepreneurship is going to help to provide essential products and services for the comfort and well-being of the society. So if we have a people who are social entrepreneurs now beginning to think about how to impact, how to use their products and services to meet the needs in the society, it will go a long way. It will go a long way to create, a better environment and to give us a better life in Nigeria. So every citizen has the potential to activate the entrepreneurial skill within to meet other people's needs. The truth is that every human being is an entrepreneur. The only difference is that most times we do not activate it. And anything you do not bring out can never show itself. So it is high time we begin to dig deep, go back and think, what can we do? Because every little thing we do is already a business waiting for us to tap from. Then again, we are still on the how social entrepreneurship can influence nation building. Again, it creates job opportunities and it increases the number of those with expertise on a particular job. If you are an entrepreneur today, you may not be the only one on, doing that business. You are going to, even though it's a one-man's business, but you are going to employ people who also help you on the job. What this does is that apart from you, improving yourself, apart from you being a better business person, those people who are working with you are also learning, who can also leave you today and go and establish themselves in that same kind of business, thereby, creating more wealth and increasing the number of those people who can make wealth. There is also the social entrepreneurship also help in societal development because it thinks about what the society needs. And if that is the target, you are sure that all the activities that they engage in is going to bring about societal development. It's going to be tackling of issues, changing challenges and making them prospects. So again, it also improves the GDP of a country. The GDP of a country is, the profit from the trade that we do and the product, what we produce in the country. Averagely, when we have a lot of social entrepreneurs who now begin to do products and services that Nigerians will consume and at the same time have impact and could be exported to other countries, is going to help us, to improve our GDP and also our per capita income. Because the more profit you make, the more per capita income that you earn. It also promotes export of goods and services and gives a country competitive edge in areas of our economic advantage. But the issue here is that while some citizens have embraced the habit of providing needs, others are benefiting from, many are passive, thereby not adding value in nation building. So we have a lot of Nigerians today who, in one way or the other, are not doing a particular thing. They are not gainfully employed. Some of them are scouting for opportunities here and there, and that is not sustainable. It is not sustainable at all. It takes those with innovative mind and passion for nation building to do the needful and make impact for the good of their society. So it's going to take people who are innovative minded, who have passion for nation building, without which we may not be able to move our nation from this point to the next point. So we're going to look at the importance of social entrepreneurship innovation in Nigeria, the importance of social entrepreneurship in Nigeria. Yes, you know, for the truth about life is that things continue to change every day. So as people, as an individual or as an entrepreneur, if you do not change, then that business will die. If you do not innovate, it will surely die. So it takes innovation to trigger socio-political and economic development. So social entrepreneurship innovation will inspire people to tap into their potentials and to create, invent, and innovate new products, embrace new processes, and ensure quality products and services. It will also increase profitability and business turnover. Again, it will help to achieve business goals and improve bottom line results. It will also increase chances for partnership and business capitalization. It will also enhance productivity and efficiency and ensures accuracy in product life cycles. It will help to develop personal and team capability. So roadmap to social entrepreneurship success. How do we get into this social entrepreneurship success? How do we tap into it? To activate social entrepreneurship in Nigeria requires citizens to seek the right information. It's very, very important that we seek the right information. By thinking deep and rightly assimilating what needs to be done in line with global standards. So it is time for us to think. They said, this Toyota slogan, say good thinking, good products. What we think is what we will produce. Many people usually insinuate that the average citizens are never given a chance to get involved in nation building. That is what we think. We just said there's nothing we can do for Nigeria. We are not given a chance. Nobody is allowing us to do something. But today, in that our business, in those choices we have made, as in what we want to do to earn a living, is an opportunity for us to do something for Nigeria. If in that little thing we do, in those little businesses we do for ourselves, that the Nigerian interest is attached, fully attached to it, it will go a long way to ensure that we, as a people, we are adding value. In whatever we do, we are adding value. Nobody gives you a chance until you decide to take it. So it is time for you to actually take the chance. It is time for you actually use the opportunity you have as a social entrepreneur to do something for Nigeria. These are some of the indications of social entrepreneurship nation builder. It's social entrepreneurship and nation builder. We must know something very, very important, that everything about the human life begins with good thinking. Every good thing, every good success, every good outcome begins with what? Good thinking. What you think of is what you become. Like now, whatever you take time to think about, to meditate on, is what you soon become. So as we talk and as we look through the social entrepreneurship aspect of our lives now, if we begin to look into it, we begin to ask questions about it, we begin to study about it, we will soon become social entrepreneurs. It soon takes hold of us and we now begin, to deploy it easily. So what you become is what you can produce. So if you are thinking now, you have assumed that position of a social entrepreneur, then you can now produce it. It becomes easy for you to produce it. And whatever you produce will keep multiplying itself. Other people will learn from you, and from there, we begin to see Nigeria changing and everything becoming better. But we must understand that whatever we did not initiate can never become a reality. Anything like we are talking about it now, we can talk about it in the next two years or 3 years. We've been having a lot of lectures on this platform on daily basis. Those are information. But until we assimilate and imbibe it and take initiative for them, it can never become a reality. It will just be a word on paper. So again, it is never too late to start something good. Because sometimes some of us will say, we've been doing this entrepreneurship business. Is it now that we want to start changing or want to start thinking about Nigeria? Truly, it is never late. Anytime you find something that is better than where you were, please hold on to it. Ideas conceived today can become greater in 3 months. Again, we must be determined to do things right. There is always a better way to do something. We must ensure that we keep driving at that better way of doing something. Again, we must emulate and surpass what others have achieved. Today, anything that people have achieved is already a reality. So we can all see it, and it's something handy that we can all learn from. So anytime you want to start something new, it's about looking beyond where these people are and stepping into a higher level. That is where you can see yourself on the top. That is where whatever you are doing will become more relevant. So now I would like us to quickly, because of time, to quickly go, look at some of the areas, the opportunities we have in Nigeria. There are so many opportunities that we have in Nigeria, that we are very sure are something that is well known all over the world is the global goals for sustainable development. If you look at those things critically, you could see a lot of opportunities in there. We talked about no poverty, we talked about no hunger, we talked about education for all, we talked about clean water for all, we talked about housing for all, we talked about a lot of things that are under that the world is looking into. How do we get this problem solved? These are opportunities for us to begin to tap in. You can choose one out of these lots and then do your own findings and see how what you have can actually add value and bring about this change that we so desire in Nigeria. Because today, our nation is the way it is today because we all feel, okay, it's about the leaders. It's always the leaders that will come up with initiative and all of that. Yes, it is the leaders have roles to play. They need to put some things, some basic things for all of these things to work. But it would have been good, and you would have been, you would have been fulfilled if you have done your own part and you are prepared for opportunities. Because today or tomorrow, anything can change. Leaders who can make Nigeria better can change and begin to create opportunities for what we are talking about. And if you are not prepared, then you will now be one of those people trying to do one thing. But if you are prepared, you become one of the first people that will now get the opportunity that we talked about. Then let us look at the consequences of lack of social entrepreneurship and nation building zeal in Nigeria, so that you see why, or the reason why we are where we are, and the need for us to go out of our way to do something for our nation. One, we talk about scarcity of leadership in the country. It's not a new thing. It's not a news anymore that there is leadership laxity or leadership failure in almost all the sectors. Why one will say so is that you can't say that there's a particular sector that is doing well and other ones are not doing well. So that means, across board, there is problem in leadership. Again, because why I say so is that leadership is meant to solve a problem. The reason for leadership is to solve a problem, is to lead people, is to show the way so that people can help to resolve problems. But when there is no landmark, when there's no pathway to guide people to how they can be helpful to the nation, then it becomes a problem. So, we have the issue of, leadership problem. Then again, it's unemployment. Lack of social entrepreneur, lack of nation building zeal is the reason why we have unemployment. Why? Because a lot of things, a lot of opportunities are there, but people take it for themselves. Nobody's thinking about Nigeria. Nobody's thinking about other people. That is the reason why we lack employment. We are all, everybody knows today that a lot of monies Nigerians have earned is outside Nigeria. It's not invested in Nigeria to create economic activities that will be able to give employment to our teeming youth. Again, lack of personal motivation to utilize potential. Because when life is all about you, you are less motivated. You are less motivated to do anything. But if it's about the nation and it's about others, you will be highly motivated because you go out of your way to be part of something that other people will see you. We see that you are doing. Everybody wants to be a star. Everybody wants to be known. But if you don't have the opportunity, if you don't know where you can play a part, where you can be known, it can demoralize you and you may not be able to utilize those potentials within you. Again, some of the consequences is mass importation and less exportation of goods. Almost everything we use in Nigeria, we import. Meanwhile, we can produce. We have some of those things here. We have the raw materials here, but we are not articulated enough to sit down and come up with the things that we can do with what we have in this country, such that can be exported. Some Chinese, they are here in this country taking raw materials and exporting. But we are seated with those raw materials. Nobody seems to be, most people are not interested. We don't even know what they are. And we are not trying to know because we are not motivated. Again, lack of infrastructures and development. We lack infrastructures and development in Nigeria. That is sure, we all know that. Then again, inflation and economic stagnation. These are the things, as we're talking about the lack here, you could see everything is pointing to Nigeria. The same problem Nigeria is having. That's to tell you that we lack people with social entrepreneurship and we lack people with nation building zeal. Low GDP and per capita income. And then does not allow for individual growth or group growth. You can see individuals in Nigeria, we're not growing as we ought to. Things are not working as they ought to. Then again, it brings about downward economic trend. All these things are some of the things our nation is faced with, some of the challenges our nation is faced with. And it's on this note that I believe that we as a people, especially the younger generation, cannot afford to continue seeing this thing and allowing it to continue, and then without us finding a solution to it. Processes that can bet social entrepreneurship and nation building in Nigeria. To make social entrepreneurship and nation building become a reality in Nigerian citizens, especially the entrepreneurs, must imbibe the following characteristics. 1, attitudinal change. Attitude change. Our attitude must change. Our attitude must do what? Change. They said attitude is everything. Integrity and hard work is very important as we pursue social entrepreneurship and nation building. Nothing gets better result more than a positive attitude and innovative mind. Once your mind is positive, like we're talking today about, about nation building, about social entrepreneurship, if our attitude is right about it, nothing can stop us. If today we begin to take decisions in that line and decide that this is what we must do, having known the truth now, then I can assure you that in no distance time, we'll begin to see the fruits from the decision we are making today. 2, knowledge. We need knowledge to do new things or improve on what already exists. Everything we desire to achieve requires basic knowledge of what to do, when to do it, and where to do it. And one can only give what one has. So knowledge is very important. The knowledge you acquire now is what you can put into whatever business choice you are making today. Again, it requires for us to bet social entrepreneurship and nation building in Nigeria, we must be focused. We must be focused. We must have the staying power. Most times, some of the things we want to do are not easy. There are challenges. Some things will even come to show you that it is not possible for you to get it done. But if you understand what you need to do, and you understand the long-term benefits that will come with it, and what it's going to do for the nation in the end, then you need their staying power. You will develop the staying power because you know you are doing it for posterity. You know you are doing it for the nation. You know that one day your name could appear in gold for what you have done for your society. We must, at this point, avoid the get-rich-quick syndrome because that is where the issues are. You know, whatever we want to do today, and we begin to look at, okay, what we are going to get, it's somehow derails us from, you know, getting it right again. Whenever the need is done, or wherever or whenever the needful is done, success is inevitable. Whenever you put your mind to do something and you insist on it, I can assure you, no matter how long it takes, success is inevitable. Then determination, start from believing in yourself. Self-confidence and personal conviction bring one to a place of self-control and self-determination. Again, and lastly, on this how to bet social entrepreneurship and nation building in Nigeria, we talk about network, team spirit. It is often said that one will achieve little, two will achieve bigger, more people will achieve much more. Understanding that you need others as much as others need you to achieve success, you know, in your social entrepreneurship and nation building approach is not negotiable. It's not something we can do alone. As an entrepreneur, you need people and people need you. As an entrepreneur, you need the politician and politician needs you in pursuit of nation building. Because the nation is about a people. It's holistic, it's big. It's not something one man can take up. So we are all connected. And because we are all connected and we are all needed in this pursuit, then it requires that every one of us, every member of our society must get involved. So as you are doing what you are doing, you must connect with other people to also be part of what you are doing so that success can be holistic. Then areas to apply social entrepreneur and nation building efforts in Nigeria. There are so many areas. Agriculture. Agriculture is still business as usual. It is time to step out of the box and it's time to make the difference. Again, politics. Still in search of democracy. Nigeria is still in search of democracy, even though we are in democracy. Nigerians must begin to think discipline, excellence, and innovation. Nigerian politicians. So for you now, who is working or who is trying to be a politician or who is already a politician in the making, we must begin to think discipline. How do we discipline ourselves to ensure that we don't get into power tussle, we don't get into getting into position and misusing it for our self-interest and leaving the reason for the position to no one. Then again, ICT, more opportunities are yet to be tapped in ICT. So show up to take full advantage of what these sectors is offering us as Nigerians. There is so much in ICT. Nigeria is one of the people who they said, you know, use more of ICT in the whole of Africa. Imagine if that is translated into nation building. For us, for those who are in ICT, this is a time to see how we can, you know, bring up programs that will encourage people to use it to things that will help the nation. Then again, we look at, like, you know, vocational needs that we look, you know, for example, the mechanics, electricians and all of that, painters. We have these people, yet you want to do something you want to work on your car, you are looking for a mechanic that is trustworthy, people you can trust, and people who are actually competent on the job. But they are everywhere, but you can scarcely find them. Why is it so? Because their mindset is about making money. They are there to do work and earn money. So they are already annoyed from the beginning when money is not coming into their hand. They are not interested in doing what you have brought to them to do. So that is a Nigerian mentality that we must not afford to keep. After COVID-19, things must change. Again, electricity. Nigeria is still in search of solution to their steady power supply. Think along this line for a solution. We can start thinking, what can we do? How do we do it? Because surely it's a problem our nation is facing. And one day, a leader who is looking forward to someone who can change this problem will come on board. And if you are already prepared, then no doubt you will be successful. Then housing. Many Nigerians are without houses. We can also come up with better alternatives to meet our housing needs. Transportation, a lot needs to be done. Creatively think of better ways we can initiate and improve on existing ideas. Education, so many things have declined. We can fix them all by taking responsibility for them. There are more and more other things that, that are lagging in Nigeria that we need to tap in our power into, to bring in our resources, our human intelligence into, and ensure that everything is made right again. Nigeria is in search of civil servants. Nigeria is in search of entrepreneurs. They are in search of professionals, and Nigeria is in search of political leaders with nation-building mentality to make the difference. As an entrepreneur, you can lead the way, just like the next slide I'm going to show you. This is the mindset of a social entrepreneur in post COVID-19. If only you can take this and put it in your house, and every day you go through it, I'm sure it will guide us. What is it saying? You say, my desire as an entrepreneur is so that I can contribute my quota towards national development. I am determined to do my business as a service to my fatherland. No matter the prevailing situation and condition in Nigeria, I have vowed not to get involved in any form of corruption and other related vices. I will not give room for nonchalant attitude in ensuring that my products and services comes out well. The change that is expected in made in Nigeria products and services will begin with me. We must begin to see that those expected change, those things we expect that Nigeria would have become, if it has not been so, that it should begin with me. I should be the one that will do it. I should be the one that will write my name in gold for people to say, I am a Nigerian who started a good process. Generations will, through me, see the beauty and honor of serving my nation faithfully and unconditionally. The legacy I will leave will surely become a new reality that others will learn from. I desire that those good attributes that Nigeria has not enjoyed from Nigerians will begin with me. What if that simple thing I am required to do is the last required to get it right? What if you are the only one that this nation is waiting for to achieve that change that we also desire? I should be proud to be a part of the answer. I will try to do it right and make Nigeria proud. Now, I urge you and I charge you to be the first set of Nigerian social entrepreneurs that will usher Nigeria into this new dawn. Post-COVID-19 is offering us all a new beginning. We must dare to make a difference. We must dare to be the social entrepreneurs for Nigeria. As we take steps in the right direction to recover Nigeria's economy, we must endeavor to seek the interests of Nigeria to enter Nigeria from here. In conclusion, I want to add that a functional and prosperous Nigeria will become a reality when citizens with the heart of innovation, social entrepreneurship, and nation building emerge in different sectors of our national existence. Today, the journey can begin with you and I. If we so that the journey can today the journey can begin with you and I, if we so wish. Like I am declaring now that the journey has already begun with me. I sincerely pray that we become the one to lead the positive change that we seek in Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to thank Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry for bringing this lecture to us and for giving me the opportunity to present this to you. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. It was an insightful presentation. Thank you for the presentation and for the words that you have spoken unto us. Just as Chris has said, we've always looked at what is it that Nigeria is giving us. It is also very important for us to look at what we can do to contribute our quota to the development of our dear country, Nigeria. We've always spoken about entrepreneurship. So when we look at this presentation, we see that even the social entrepreneurship is hammering about is also giving us the same results with entrepreneurship when it comes to financial gain. But when we make it a social one, it brings more gain to the development of our country. So at this point, I'm going to check if you have any question, or if you have a question, you can just raise your hand, or you send it through the chat box. Okay, we have a contribution from Rex Esenowo. Nigerians are strong entrepreneurs, even in the diaspora, but a lot needs to be done to create and maintain enabling environment for diaspora and investors to feel more comfortable doing businesses, as well as improve social entrepreneurship in the country. Yes, I agree. A lot needs to be done from our side as an individual, as an enterprise, and also from the side of the government. So if each and everyone contributes their own quota, then it will be better, it will be easier and more faster for us to achieve the development that we so desire in our country, Nigeria. Thank you very much, Rex. Thank you once more, Chris, for the presentation. Thank you for your time. Is there any other contribution or question? Okay, if not, I want to use this opportunity to appreciate each and every one of us for participating in the session. The recording is going to be circulated to us. You can join us on our social center. You can also look us up through our website, accibestcenter.com, so you can get more information. And also the recording will also be on our website, definitely. And coming Friday, we are going to have a panel discussion, and we are so focusing on enterprises, running an SME successfully, running a small medium enterprise successfully. And we have our moderator, who is the provost of the Best Center, Professor Adesoja Adeshuba. We have our panelists, Mrs. Roslyn Nwosu, barrister at law. She's the Vice President, Women Development at ACCI. We also have Dr. Johnson Anene, the Vice President in ACCI too. So they will be discussing, and also participants will also be given the opportunity to make their own contributions and suggestions and even questions as regards running a successful SME, especially during and after this COVID-19. So we all look forward to see you participating in the class next week, Friday. It's going to come up by 2 p.m. on Friday. We'll also send a reminder to everybody, and we hope to see you there. So this opportunity to say thank you to everyone that we have learned one or two things. The discussion doesn't stop here. If you have a contribution or question or testimonial, you can still send it to us through our social media channels. And in conclusion, let's keep staying safe. Coronavirus is real, even though I was still hearing someone yesterday saying it's not real. So I'm surprised But coronavirus is real. Let's keep staying safe. Let's keep washing our hands and avoid touching our face. And if we have to go out, let's wear our face masks. So thank you very much for joining us. We hope to see you on Friday at 2 p.m. Bye.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.